event of Joy House to show both art and conduct performances. The artists in residence, many of you just heard from, many of them were professional artists in Myanmar, got involved with the political revolution, were forced to flee for a number of reasons, and have landed in Mae Sot. Many of them are facing continued political persecution. Many of them face arrest warrants if they go back to Myanmar. Joy House has really become a very important oasis for people to be able to recover their health, but also to continue the things that they're passionate about. I want to say before we go further, just to thank Jeannie Hallisey, who's played such an important role in helping organize this event, and also the entire team from Joy House and others who have come with us today. So now we're going to move to the next part of the event, which is Myanmar traditional dance performance. We're getting this straight from Mae Sot. And this Myanmar traditional dance has been directed by Henzar, and I'll leave it to you to enjoy it. Very impressive. That was U Shui Yo and Da Noa performing for us. Thank you very much. Next, there's going to be a presentation of martial arts demonstration. So we're going to see the martial arts demonstrators coming out next. All right, let's hear it for the martial arts team. Okay, next we're going to have a violin performance. This is the violin ensemble that has been founded by Po San, who was actually one of the premier violinists in Burma, helped organize a lot of the classical music performance that you saw on the streets of Yangon and other cities during the early days of the protests after the military coup. He's now in Mae Sot and teaching these incredible performers, and the violin assembly is coming. And they're going to do a song called "The Dictatorship Must End." Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to pause a little bit on the performances from Mae Sot because we want to hear more about Joy House and actually the work that's being done there. So I'd like to ask our speakers to come up to the podium so that we can start the panel discussion. Come on. Okay. Can we get some light over here? Okay. Okay. So we're gonna have a panel discussion, and then we'll have some question and answer, and then we'll have a couple more performances. And I'm not going to introduce all the speakers at once, but I'm going to introduce them one by one as their time comes up to speak. And the first person I want to introduce is Thet Swe Win, who is the Joy House director. She's a coordinator and the co-founder of Joy House. And amazingly, you see all these things on the screen. It was founded a year ago. And this community center, which is providing art therapy and psychosocial support to thousands of newcomers at the border town of Mae Sot after the coup, now has over 22 free classes and has reached thousands of Burmese in the community. Thet Swe Win has a long, decades of experience working with community-based NGOs at the border, including the Mae Tao Clinic and the Burmese Migrant Teachers Association. She's ethnic Karen Kachin, and her families are also leaders of the church community in the Mae Sot area. So let me turn it over to her first for her thoughts.
Thank you. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Thet Swe Win, and nice to meet you all, and thank you for your precious time. And your presence means a lot to us. So as everyone know, I don't want to too much detail about the Myanmar political situations, but because all of you are much more better than me, but I just want to share my personal own experience and why Joy House is opening. So after the military coup 2021, as you know, a lot of Burmese people are fled their own country, and then they crossed the river by illegally, and then they became an undocumented. So because of that reason, they have no proper job, and then they lost their hope. Before the military coup, like you see in the performance, they are professional, skillful worker in their area. But after the military coup, they are running away from their own country, and then I'm helping almost 1.5 years as an emergency response officer, everything they need. And almost 1 year, I found out one thing is, when the 88 resolution is happened, I am just 7 years old. But everything is, like in my memory, it's take like a flint already recorded in my mind that is hiding in my head. I never thought I forgot everything, but when I hear about the military coup in 2021, February 1st, the whole day I'm crying because I lost hope, not for me, for my next generations, because I've been living in the uncertain situation or the strong, like a government system almost my life. And this man, 18, I will be 40. I will be 42. So almost 42 years, I've been living under the military coup system. So why I'm talking this one is, this kind of situation is happen again and again. That's why the trauma in my heart is reflect again. Not only me, all the Myanmar people have a mental health issue. They don't even know how to cope themselves. And also they are not familiar with the therapy ward. When we opened Joy House, we put music therapy. And then they thought music therapy can take a people like a crazy, they thought, and then they didn't join for the first time. So we need to explain them what is music therapy. So it's mean we don't know our situations. That means we don't know how to control our depressions or anxiety or sleep disorder, or sometimes we have here a lot of suicide story and attempted suicide also. So that's why we would like to create a space called people can learn, not only learn, but also they can reduce their stress, daily stress, by doing art activity. So in Joy House, we started with the 11 free classes, including like you see. So now we have 22 classes. All the activity that we do in Joy House is related to the mental health support. Even though we are not a special counselor in the mental health area, or even though I am not a psychiatrist, but I know how to manage my stress. So we encourage our people to coping their stress level, and then if they have a chance or if they do something, they can share their feeling. So when we open, as you see, a lot of artists are contributing their skill, and then they said they get back their life back, and then they get their dignity. So before, we try to support us like a dry foods or monthly stipend, and then they said they feel like they are vulnerable whenever they receive something from other people. They said they want their life back by doing something. So Joy House, we create we can say like a job opportunity for the undocumented people. But not because of the money, but because of they want back their life, they come and contribute their skill in Joy House. And also, all the participant or student in the different age of the level can join to Joy House activity. So this time is like we can call the fighting season. And then the fighting is increasing day by day. It means more people are crossing the border. And then we don't have any prevention, or we don't have any problem service for those influx. So by our exhibitions, we would like to raise our voice that we need support from the international community. Yes. So we must ready for the people who already step in border town area, not only the borderline area, but also for the inside Burma. But Joy House is focused on the Mae Sot. I can tell you that we will have more people cross the border, and then we need more service like Joy House, not only like a creating activity, but also have a proper mental health care issue in Joy House area. That's why I don't want to take too much time, but you already see all the activity that you really see in our performance. So I would like to conclude my presentations. So thank you for your time. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for bringing these amazing activities to so many people in Mae Sot. It's really, really superb. Next, we're going to hear actually remotely from someone in Mae Sot. This is Dr. Nang, Dr. Nguyen Nang Ten. He's a public health expert in Mae Sot. Actually, he's a medical doctor from Yangon. He has continued his work in public health and social work and counseling in Thailand and New Zealand, and he graduated with a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Master of Clinical Medicine, Master of Public Health, and a Master of Education, as well as a Diploma of Social Work and a Doctor of Public Health. And has been working with migrants, refugees, and displaced persons from Myanmar since 1989, particularly at the Thai-Myanmar border. And he's, not surprisingly, contributing quite a bit to local organizational development, working as a mentor to many staff and volunteers who are working with community social organizations in the border. So, Dr. Nang, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Phil. Thank you very much. I hope you all can hear me. My apologies that I can't be physically there. Now I'm from Mae Sot to join you there to share some information that what I can share with you. I'm not okay. I would like to share the one PowerPoint presentation. So can technologically somebody allow me to share?
Hold on, let me see. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Have you got it?
Not yet. I think you need to give me a code.
Julian, can you show that? Hold on a second. We're getting it.
That's fine.
Or do you want us to show it on the screen here? Yeah. Okay, there it is.
Yep, I got it. So can you see it there now?
Yeah, hold on. It's coming. Bear with us just 1 minute more.
Yeah.
Okay, can you put it on the slideshow?
Can you see it now? So do you want to see
Yes,
the
we can.
slideshow?
We can see it, but yeah, here it is.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. So can you see it?
Yes,
Okay.
we can. Yep.
So thank you very much. Thanks again. So, I just want to share some facts and information related with the mental health and the current situation. So this one, I pay the name of the Healing from Mental Health Challenges. So actually it is a fact that in 2022, the country was the third highest level of violence in the world. So with the estimated 20,000 civilians and 5 to kill the political conflicts. That's in the 2022, and then it is in the new humanitarians. So I just look at for this presentation. So I look at yesterday from ACLED, is the On-Conflict Location and Event Data Project. And then you see that Myanmar is one of the 4 countries. It's been there in the Ukraine and Myanmar and Mexico and Palestine. Today, currently, that's retrieved from the 4th November, so day before yesterday, Myanmar is the one highest, the most conflict situations around the world. So that it's the reference at how much conflict is happening over there. So what? In Ghana, there is a man-made disasters. So I want to reference one reference that here, what they are writing here is in hour after disaster, at least 25% of the population may be stunned and dazed and apathetic and wandering, suffering from disaster syndrome. We call it disaster syndrome, especially its impact as being sudden and totally devastating. However, that 25% is the disaster. It can be natural disaster, it can be man-made disaster, but one localized situations. Now we are in the time of the whole country it's happening. So in terms of the humanitarian aid stands about the 17 million people. That figure is from 12 April. But today's situations, you can imagine how the more big problems will be happening. So I think over there is you also see in the double screen. So I think probably it might be better to see. Sorry about that. So in terms of the mental health problems are faced by the refugees and displaced people in this context. So you all know it, so we can't really need to, how they suffer and something like that. But here, that is some of the problems related with the mental health being suffered from displaced people and the refugees. So it's a trauma and post-traumatic stress disorder is one of the severe problems that I think a lot of people still suffering even for the 20 years, 30 years after what they have been seen and they have been abused and trauma. Definitely, and then Neji also mentioned anxiety and depression, especially for uncertainty, and there are rules and there are, a lot of things might change, and the grief and loss because of their loved one will be lost and their properties and they're being displaced. Of course, a lot of people in Mae Sot with the illegal and a lot of stress. It is a part of the displacement stress. And then sometimes we feel the hopelessness and hopelessness of things going on. We are nearly 3 years. Hopefully things might change, and that this all we are hoping for. But still, some people there's a lot of challenging problem with they feel the hopelessness and helplessness. And then now we are talking about the mental health. Before we go into the mental health, the stigmatizations and discriminations in the other people's lands without proper documentations. And we also thanks the Thailand and the people in the Mae Sot, and a lot of people trying to help as much as they can. However, and there is a lot of people stigmatize and discriminate these people. So they've been suffering and challenging these kind of situations to dealing day by day. And then access to mental health services. Some of these people are already being some challenges inside Burma. Here they come with the illegal, so able to access normal primary health care is already challenging. But something like the mental health services, you can imagine how much it will be more complicated and language problems and illegal situation. Of course, people trying to cope with their situation, they trying with a very positive coping mechanism. That's the one that what Joy House is doing. But many people go to the substance abuse in order to cope and control their situations. The last ones I don't really need to explain the family and social disruptions. So a lot of family being separated and a lot of their social metrics being problems and a lot of challenges. So there was one survey. There is not much survey has been done in terms of the mental health. So this one, so we call it a non-probability survey. So it does not really go with the proper sample size frame. We go with the most snowballs and then allow them to answer the questions. It is in October 2021. So it is about more than nearly 2 years of the survey result. Even in that situations, that highlighted among 7,720 people, the answer that only depression alone is 61% and probable anxiety is a 58%. Both them together, people suffers 60.71%. So it's a symbol overall, it's across democratic subgroups, it is above over 18. So you can imagine now people are suffering. Our whole country, more than around 54 million, 60 people of populations, they are one or others being suffer with the mental health challenges. So that's a level of needs and the problems, the moment inside, of course, it is in the border and also Mae Sot. So this, I don't want to read it everything. This is a part of the mental health services that holistically we should be better to provide. So I underlined it, some couple of things that what Joy House being contributed in this kind of the list that the mental health services. The first one is the displaced community and host community. So when we do, because of that displaced people also in the community, I think Htoo Chit and Sema Neji can also add it more about how Joy House is working, not only Burmese displaced, and also neighboring Thai community and Thai people. Joy House accommodated both community. Partly, we really want to be a part of the healing process and other people to understand together. And then because of the Joy House also articulated and share mental health is the one of the challenges that everybody have to pass through. It shouldn't be shame or shy or not to go to services. So in terms of the stigma and discrimination, so you've seen video already. So that's reduced a lot because of the Joy House. But one of the most key area is that this is a community-based intervention. I have to say resilient model and then empowerment model, because we are not putting displaced people to just providing the assistance. We're trying to find for their dignities and the ones that they want to provide and contribute to the services. So that is the place that a lot of people get a release and they gain back their dignities, the things that they wanted to it. So others are not much in the Joy House, they're more the specialties area and the more trauma care and something like that. But what Joy House also doing is that mental health, emotional, and social support through the coordinated approach. So that's why I'm not with the Joy House, but I'm here participating because of the Htoo Chit and Jenny and everybody. We work together as a team that different organizations in the Mae Sot. So lastly, it's advocating. It is a part of the advocating mechanism today, and you know it. People need to aware that how that burdens and that sufferings are challenging to the human beings. And then Burma problem is not a in-country problems, it is a regional problems, and it's also a global problems. So I really want to stop you here. That I also want to say thank you very much again for the Joy House, for the excellent activities of mental health support and many interventions that Joy House has been done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Next, we're going to move on to Thet Swe Win from the NGO Synergy. He is the founder and director of that NGO. Has been involved in leading interfaith campaigns and organizing a national movement for social cohesion in Myanmar. He led the well-known White Rose campaign and was a vocal advocate on behalf of the Rohingya in the years leading up to and following the genocide committed in Rakhine State. And he's also received the prestigious Human Rights Tulip Award of the Netherlands government in 2019 for his, quote, outstanding work to bridge divides with his human rights advocacy, unquote. So let's turn it over now to Thet Swe Win.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thet Swe Win, and I am the executive director of the organization called Synergy Social Harmony Organization, which is focusing on the social harmony and social cohesion in between Buddhists and Muslims, Burma ethnic and non-Burma ethnic, including Rohingya. And I'm also serving as a council member, civil society council member of National Unity Consultative Council, NUCC. I'd like to share my personal story, actually, as a refugee and as a stateless person here. And after the coup in March 2021, I appear on the state TV as a wanted person together with some other activists. Then at the same night, the military raided my house, my office, and also like they threatened my family members. So I had to run away. I was actually hiding in the city first, then I had to run away to the KNU area in Karen State. I stayed 7 months in the jungle with different revolutionary groups. Around September of 2021, I crossed the border illegally. I have been to borders, like during my, yes. I have been to borders area, but mostly like, Rakhine and Bangladesh border, Burma-Bangladesh border. And I also have been to refugee camps in Bangladesh 3 times, and I also got arrested once in Bangladesh at my second time of visiting there after the exodus. So I have like, somehow knowledge about the situation of the borders, and also I know a little bit about the refugee situation, but I've never imagined that I would become one of them, becoming a stateless or like becoming a refugee. When I crossed the border, it was really challenging for me. Like, I did not know what to do. And my first challenge when I arrived to Mae Sot, to the Thai-Burma border, was like, most of the people, like our senior people, want us not to expose ourselves as a Burmese. Don't speak Burmese in the public, or like don't wear like Burmese, or like even like, when we, take the motorcycle, or there's also differences, like, sitting at the back of the driver, like Thais, they never hold the handle at the back. But we Burmese are like, we always hold, the handle at the back. So like, it can be easily identified that, who is the guy at the back of the motorcycle. So like, this kind of thing that being touched by the, senior people, like, not to be exposed too much. But I was thinking like, okay, I already escaped from the murderous terrorist group. So I calculated my risk. So what are my risks? Okay, I can be arrested, or like I can be scammed, whatever. That I know the embassies and I know the organizations, so I know that they can protect me. So like as an activist, as a well-connected person, I'm always have some sort of benefit, of being there. I mean, that is not a good thing that I know, but I'm always have well connected them than many other refugees. So that is something I know. So I will not be in danger. I will not be deported, or I will not be be having bad problems. So I calculated the risks first. Then I started exploring the town slowly, and I'm like reaching out and connecting people. Then I started my another office in Mae Sot. So I was like operating two offices, like one in Yangon, another one also in Mae Sot. But it wasn't that really smooth, because there are always threats for all of the activities. Like many people are being arrested in Mae Sot every day. Like because most of the people are like undocumented, and we have to deal a lot with the police to release them, and we actually have a saying in Mae Sot that like when maybe like the international people think that okay, there are some organizations like UN and like some NGOs that to protect the human rights and to protect the people like us, but on the ground actually we have a saying. If you're being arrested by the police, never ever contact the UNHCR. You will be in more trouble. That is the truth on the ground. No one protects us. Like when we got arrested by the police, we have to find another solution to deal with them. So if we go to that formal process, it takes a longer time, and also the police will never tolerate, and they go straight forward according to the law, which ended up people in more difficult situation. So that is the hard truth about the people over there. And my personal feeling, like when I just want to go back to my experience of being with the refugees and over there. It's really hard. Like we are just taking a shelter. We just cross to the other country soil, but for me, like the nation boundaries are just nothing. We are already connected by people to people, and like we are seeking for our for a protection or a shelter for our life. Then, but for me, like entering a crossing border, if I don't feel like it's a violation of the law. Of course, there are laws, but for us, this is a life matter, so we have to deal with it. But some people are like taking advantage on this difficult situation of the refugees over there, and we are like getting more and more difficulties and the problems facing every day. Even today, like a former PDF guy who used to live at my safe house. So I have several safe houses in Mae Sot, and also I do some, businesses for small businesses for, some of the refugees to be able to get income. So that guy, he got arrested last night. Not last night, like 2 nights ago, and then, no, not 2 nights ago. It was last night. Then he and his wife, they both have a. We got a pink card, the labor card, but it was fake. So most of the people over there, there is a chance for us to be legalized in Thailand, that to apply as a worker here, get a pink card, and that we can stay here legally. But there are also some fake IDs that given by some of the brokers. For these 2 guys, they got the fake ID, but they paid a lot of money to get one. And then when they were checked by the police, they gave it to the police, and the police checked it was fake. Then they brought them to the police station, and then we tried to deal with the police yesterday, but they did not tolerate this time. And this afternoon, my friend from Mae Sot just called me that they are already in the prison. So they have to be in the prison for at least 37 days. Then they will go through as a procedure to deport. So this is just one of the cases, one of the many, many cases, happening to the people in Mae Sot. So we are like living in fear every day. Like, our situation is not much different from the situations living in Myanmar. Like in Myanmar, we also have to be afraid of, getting out of the street, or like, we're worried like if our neighbors are watching us. The same situation in Mae Sot and also the Thai-Burma border along, that, we have to be worried every time, we have to afraid every time. We don't know when our houses will be raided, or like when we're gonna be arrested. So that is the situation, but we do, thanks to the Thai community, Thai people, they are amazing. They help us a lot. But I'm just talking to the Thai people, the real Thai people. But, there are also some other situations as well, but I don't want to mention it here. Like they really help to the people, to the refugees. And like our refugees also, because like we have a cultural clash as well, because we don't. Most of the people who cross the river and who get to Mae Sot, they have traumas, many traumas. Many of them were like being arrested, or their family members were being killed, or being arrested in a prison, or like houses were burned, or like being confiscated, etc. So they have passed through all of the traumas, and when they get to Mae Sot, they feel a little bit safer, and they started, like enjoying this a little bit of freedom in Mae Sot. But sometimes we cross the boundaries of Thai neighbors. Like, Thais like to be quiet, but we Burmese are like even speaking normally, we speak very loud. And also like we chew the bitterness and we spit it everywhere like normally Burmese people do. And like we don't really care about the neighbors. But the clashes happened, and like also a lot of complaints from the Thai community. But we are trying to mitigate it. So we are trying to educate to the Thai community why we are here, and also the traumas of the people of Mae Sot. And also we educate to the Burmese community as well, why we have to behave, living over there, and why we have to integrate with them, and etc. So even though there are some social clashes, but the situation is not that really difficult. And also another reason why I thank to the Thai people is that I compare to our situation of being statelessness in Thailand. Our situation is similar to the people from Rakhine State, the Rohingya. When Rohingya people, actually like Rohingya, I do, believe, and I always say that Rohingyas are one of the ethnic of our country, but most of the people did not believe it and did not accept them. And then they keep, resenting Rohingya people as an outsiders and, and intruders. It happened until the coup. And then, but after the coup, the situation upside down. The people who opposed the Rohingya as a citizen or as an ethnic of the country, the people who accused Rohingyas as intruders or as illegal immigrants, we also became the same situation as them. We have to run away to other countries like Thailand. We have to sneak in here. We became illegal. We became stateless. Like we have basically we have the similar situation. But in Myanmar, when the Rohingya crisis happened, the xenophobia was really strong, and then the nationalism was really strong. That maybe some of you may remember about it. That there were a lot of very big movements to against the Rohingya, but thankfully there is no such movement to against the Burmese immigrants like us here in Thailand. Thai people welcome us, but that is such a great relief of us, to be here, taking refuge to be here. That is one thing that I really thank to the Thai community. And the people of Mae Sot, we have different level of security threats. We have many different people from the many different level of revolution, and also Mae Sot became like the kind of center of the revolution as well. Of course, there are some of the revolution leaders are living in Chiang Mai and also Bangkok, and also also in India as well, and some also abroad. But Mae Sot has most of the people, most of the leaders are there, and like different levels of leaders. So we have different threats. For example, like when some, maybe a CDMer got arrested, that we can make a deal with them, or maybe even if they are deported, their names might not be in the list of the military over there. So maybe they can be saved. But some of the high-profile revolutionary leaders, so when they got arrested, so their situation will be at very high risk. So different level of threats, different level of leaders are facing different level of threats in living in Mae Sot, and the arrest and the raids and the security scrutinizing in Mae Sot is really getting harder these days, and also they are doing joint patrol in the name of fighting the gambling or human trafficking. So they are like Burma and the military and the Thai military are doing some of the joint operation there. So the situation is not really that livable or that really happy to live over there. But we stay there, and the situation, I would like to say the mentality situation of the Mae Sot is very fragile, very fragile. Even though we are encouraging each other, encouraging ourselves to continue in the revolution. Most of the people, as I already said, we have about 20 to 30,000 people only in the Mae Sot area. Only about 10% of the people will be leaving to the third countries, and they are actually waiting, queuing up to be leaving. But they've been waiting for almost 2 years, some of the people. So, but while they are here, all of the people in Mae Sot are striving together for the revolution. This is also one of the major forces of our revolution. So many of the people actually are, just encouraging ourselves, bracing ourselves, and waiting for the time to go back home. We all know that this is not our home. We have homes back in Burma. We have to go back to, and I always said that, Mae Sot has all of the talents all over Burma. It's all gathered in Mae Sot. We have best people of Burma, running away from Burmese military and taking refuge in Mae Sot, and also, some of the cities in Thailand. So the Thai government and Thai authorities, that I always like to, encourage them to make use of our presence in here. We have the best daughters, like this daughter over there, and also we have the artists, we have the academies, professors, and many people from many different professions are there, but they have nothing to do in Mae Sot. They are just living in their small rooms, living in vain, because there is no proper suitable job opportunity for them. As Maniji said, these people, they don't need money. They need dignity. They need their own identity. Without any meaningful work for them, they will not, even though they are alive, it's really meaningless for them. When I opened a tea shop in Mae Sot, I have a tea shop there. So I've been dealing with many of the, the refugees every day. So I hear many different stories from many different people. But even though no matter how they suffer, they said, just wait the time that we all go back home together. Then we always imagine how we going back home. Then I actually I'm a biker. Last time when I was here in FCCD 2-3 years ago, I was talking about my motorcycle trip to promote peace in Burma. So I still have a motorcycle in Mae Sot. I'm keeping that motorcycle. I always tell people that when we win, I will hold a flag and I will ride my motorcycle to cross the bridge to get into Burma. This is my dream. I have chances to go to abroad, but I still consider not to go. I want to wait. I want to be there with my people. That, you know, I know the suffering of them. I'm also suffering. Like I've suffered like the mental problem. Like earlier this year, I have like the depression and also suicidal thoughts. And I had a a headache that pounded in my head like every time. For this kind of things, I had to heal myself, and I meet with friends, and then sometimes I go out of town for a while, like just to be able to survive, in this very difficult situation. Our dreams and our hope is just to go back home, to win the revolution and go back home. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Some very heartfelt words there. It is worth noting that Mae Sot now is the most lucrative position for Thai immigration officers anywhere in the country. And in fact, they pay very significant amounts of money to get positions there, in part because the extortion takings are so rich that they can basically prey on the Burmese community there to arrest and extort money. This has been happening for a long time. Right now, it's a very, very rich takings of time for the Thai authorities up there, and it's profoundly sad that you have some of the best that Burma has to offer landing in Mae Sot being taken advantage of by some of the worst that Thailand has to offer. So let me turn to our last speaker. It's a pleasure to introduce my old friend Htoo Chit. Htoo Chit is the founder and the director of an NGO called the Foundation for Education and Development. That NGO provides education, legal aid, safe migration, and empowerment to migrant workers from Myanmar. It was also the first Burmese NGO that was registered officially in Thailand. He's one of the leading experts on Burmese migrant issues. He was an Ashoka Fellow. He's originally from Kaya State, works very closely with the Karenni political leaders and civil society groups in that state, and at the Thai border outside of Mae Son. And they've received, he and his organization have received a number of different awards, including the Bishop T. Justice and Peace Award from South Korea. So turn it over to you, Htoo Chit.
Thank you, Phil. Good evening, everybody. And also, I'm happy to see that my former colleague I met then the 30 years, 3 decades, included the Phil Robinson here. So I left from my country the last 35 years ago. So we call we are the 88 generation. So I also would like to share with our experience and aspire to our new generation called the new activists in Myanmar. Actually, that my college, especially for our mental health expert and also the project director and some my colleagues, they already share about their experience. So I also I'm going to be very short. The presentation is also based on my experience. For example, I've been arrested in Thailand for full time. So it also that sometimes that I joke or I'm proud to say that I have the opportunity to study in Thai language in the Thai prison, So when when our generation also very similar, but this Supreme Revolution is the many times the bigger than our we can say that the revolution in 1988. So the 2 million the ITP. 2 million ITP are, after the military coup. And then we are unfortunately, we are not familiar or we are not well versed or limited for the mental health concern. That most of the million of the Myanmar people are suffering or experiencing their mental health or homelessness or trauma. So even that we are providing the assistance in Mae Sot. It is also the very limited. We need to provide it, or we need a system, those mental health activities for the million of the Myanmar people, not only that live in Thailand, but also in Myanmar. You know that we can, as my experience working in Thailand, so people-to-people engagement is a very important. It means that, as also that my brother Thet, he also mentioned, also that we also do the state appreciate to the Thai or general public, rather than the Thai government. The Thai government, they always changes, but the people-to-people engagement is more important and the more effective. That's why there is also the reason we're trying to raise awareness among the Thai public to understand why we left from the country. It is also very important. That when I was in the 18 years, I worked in for the tsunami victim in southern Thailand. That hundreds of thousands of Myanmar migrants have been affected by the tsunami, and over 1,000 migrants have been killed by the tsunami. It means that we show, so Thai local, at the time, that we are also under the military regime, and that we also difficult to contact with the Myanmar embassy in Thailand. But so at this time, that I am the eyewitnesses. The Thai people, especially the local Thai people, they support to the tsunami victim. We also this kind of the example. So we also should apply for this kind of technique also in the current our political situation. That can you emergence like that, in Myanmar, the more airstrike, the more than the airstrike the Ukraine, airstrike in Ukraine. So maybe that you can read some research. Sometimes that we feel like that we are the forgotten civil war victim. I mean that compared with the other civil war victims with our country. So that we still needed some international community to support and aware about our situation. And especially, I will also always request our brother and sister in Thailand that we also then need their support, and they understand we need their sympathy to our people. And I will start my presentation, so I welcome some comment and your question. And then because of, if we're talking to many, that if they regarding with the Myanmar, the political situation, or regarding with human rights, or the ITP or refugee, it's going to be, the long term. So I request for your question and your comment is important. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to take a few questions here for the panel, and then we'll finish off with a number of performances from the folks in Mae Sot. So the mic is open right now for people who have questions. If you do have a question, please identify yourself, give your affiliation, work affiliation or what have you, whatever is appropriate, and also indicate who you're directing your question to. So enrapturing that nobody has a comment. Come on, don't be shy. Really? Okay. Well, you can think about a question while we're going to kick over to the performances, and we'll do the performances, and then we'll come back if in the meantime you've thought of a question that you'd like to ask the panel or an observation. You can make that towards the end of the event. Oh, do we have questions in the Facebook page? I don't have access to that. Can someone hold on. Let's we'll look at those questions in a moment, but for now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back to a traditional dance performance by the dancers Htoo Chit and Don No, who we saw previously. I think they may be ready. I hope so. in any case, we're gonna hear another dance performance from Mae Sot. That's fantastic. Okay, the next performance we're going to have is a reading of a poem. So we're going to have a poem reading. I don't know anything about this poem. I just was told about it, but it's coming.
Hello, everyone. I am Noe, a volunteer trainer teacher from Joy House. Nice to meet you all. Tonight, after this amazing Burmese dance performance, I would like to read a poem. The title of my poem is A Place I Belong. A place I always wish to go back. A place I can never forget. A place I was thinking even in my dream. A place where my childhood has passed through. A place the important people of my life live in. A place my mama is waiting for me with delicious curries. A place my brother and I could play again together. A place I can hang out with my friends. A place I can try street food with my beloved ones. A place where inspiring nature and beautiful scenery could be explored. I know this place keeps calling me, despite I am too far away from it. Will I ever have the chance to return to the place I belong? Will I ever be able to meet them again? Will I ever? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Okay. And next we're going to actually see a video of performance by the violin ensemble. Part of the reason that the kids didn't stay this late to play it in person is because they're worried that they would be arrested on the way home. I mean, many of them don't live right near Joy House, so they have to get across town. They have to run the gauntlet of Thai police and immigration officers to try to get where they need to get to safely without facing arrest and extortion. So that was the reason. Originally, they were going to have 2 live performances, but our violin teacher said, "Look, I can't put my students at risk. That extra half an hour, 45 minutes matters in Mae Sot," which gives you an idea of the sort of situation that people are facing, the kind of pressure that they face day in and day out from Thai officials up there. So let's play the tape. That was a song called Loyalty of Blood, which was an original composition by the violin teacher, Posan. So now that you've had a chance to think about questions, if anybody has one, please go to the mic.
I just wanted to ask if any of the
introduce yourself.
Sorry, my name's Philip Cornwell-Smith. I'm a freelance writer in Thailand. I just wanted to ask whether the children in these refugee situations get any kind of schooling.
Yes, to answer your questions, most of the people, they are out of school. Some they are learning through online. Some are enrolling in the, we call Migrant Learning Center. In Mae Sot, we have 70 learning center. And then, but depending on their parents' situation and their choice, most of the people, most of the students are learning online, and then they join to the Joy House activity. So it seems like they are out of school children. Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, I also want to add the one thing, sir. Regarding for the, we are they're talking about the two different situations. One is like the migrants. They already in Thailand. The more or less, some of them they can study in the, we call the Migrant Learning Center. Even ourselves, my foundation, we're running for the 2 Migrant Learning Center in southern Thailand. With the capacity for the 900 students are there. So also the regarding for the ITP camp, you know the one at the December in the July 12th, you know the July 12th this year, the Myanmar military airstrike on the ITP camp, the near the Thai-Myanmar border. It is a one, you know, the bonus, the hit to the high school, the IDB high school, you know, the over 500 students are studying there. So you know that this is totally damaged by the airstrike. The student from this IDB camp, this is also the more and less sustainable to they have the study, but after the airstrike by the military, they had to back. Some of them they had to back inside, deep inside the Kaya state, and some of them are trying to cross the border with the Thailand, and they're trying to study in the refugee camp and near the Mae Sot. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Other questions, please come ahead.
Hi, good everyone here. Thanks so much. And I think first of all I wanted to say how inspiring all of the...
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Oh yeah, sorry. My name's Tom Trail. I'm from Community Partners International. We support Joy House, and we, you know, I'm the Director for Research and Policy. Yeah, I first of all wanted to say how inspiring all the stories were, and the work that Joy House are doing in general. I think it's really wonderful. I thought, oh boy, some of the most inspiring things is that it feels like it's really bringing together some of the adults who have had to flee Myanmar, and then also the youth who have had to, and bringing those two together to learn from each other and also to support these children. And for all of the panelists, including, I think, Seanai perhaps has worked more on the health aspects, the mental health aspects, but how do you see the situation in terms of mental health for children or adults? I think often we tend to think of adults for mental health. How do you see this situation for children who have had to flee as well, and their situation when they come to the Joy House or in other settings in Mae Sot?
Right.
And then the second question I had is, of course, it's generally very difficult to run things for Myanmar people in Thailand, and it's not a simple thing, particularly if it's based in Thailand trying to operate. And I just wondered if you could talk a little to how you work to build relationships with Thai people, Thai authorities. Like, of course this is done, and I'd love to just hear a little bit more details about how you make this something that builds relationships in the country rather than just being for Myanmar people. Because of course it matters, as we saw about the musicians, it makes a big difference how Myanmar people are seen in Mae Sot and elsewhere by their Thai neighbors and everyone else. So I'd love to hear that as well. Thank you so much.
So I will answer the first question, and then I will left Htoo Chit or Thet Swe Win to answer the second question. So as my experience for the young children, before we opened Joy House, when we visited to the house by house, I found out one thing is they lost their right to play because they don't even know why they are hiding in the forest and why they are crossing the border. And also when they reach to Mae Sot, they cannot play like the other children because if they make noise, their neighbor complain to the police, and then when the police they can be arrested, or because of the neighbor is complaining, they need to find another place. So I found out one thing is they are innocent and young children, and in their head is the bitterness and the hatred are planted as a seed, and then I don't want to mention the name, and then they just call out the name. Because of him, I became like this. I want to kill him. I want to kill him when I grow up, something like that. So when I hear and see in these positions, I feel very pity to the children because they don't even know who he is, and then they just started hatred and bitterness in their heart. So when we open Joy House, children have a chance to have a land and have a fun, and then even though the class is finished, they don't want to go back home. So sometimes children join at least 3 classes. So we encourage them, please let the other children have a chance. But normally we accept most of the children in Saturday, Sunday. We call weekend program. So, but even though we accept the children at Joy House, we cannot cover all. Only a few amount of people or children have an asset from Joy House. Because when we post some activity, people are applying more than 80 people or 100 people. We can accept only 30 people, depending on the classes. It means we need more assets like Joy House. Yes, thank you.
Can I also ask Dr. Nang to say something about the children's mental health in Mae Sot?
Yeah, thank you. As the information that I gave, it's more adults above 18. So unfortunately, for when we do our internal of the research or data, something like that more quantitative, we don't have it because under children's internal of the research and survey, it's very challenging. I'm also working with the number of different schools, especially training to the MHPSS. So it is the information from the teachers, as Semanisa mentioned, there are a lot of children also being suffered because we see the internal resilience, children will recover more quickly or something like that. But the one thing is that sometimes, child is child, they could not really understand it all over the situations, why they have been running away, not why they shouldn't be in their house, and then why they have to be hiding. And then, people are, the parents are also asked them to be quiet, stay in the rooms. That is able to arrest or in terms of the securities over there. So we can't really say that children with the more in terms of the way aggressiveness, some people one way go to the more isolated and stay alone, and they doesn't want to be, go out. Or on the other hand, when in some schools, they are something like the drawing, the program, especially this also information from IDP. They just drawing in terms of the, the plane come to bombs, and they see the very familiar with the weapons and guns and people holding. So in terms of the mental health to the children, definitely there is a lot of mental health sufferings and problems to them. Another one is as I mentioned in the list, the social problems and the separations, and then the loss of their family members. So these are also number of the compound factors, including, not able to play that what Semanish is mentioned. So that is, so far, there is no appropriate figures or information in terms of the number and percentages, but definitely children are also part of the victims in this kind of situations of affect their mental health, mental well-being and mental health. Yeah, that's what I want to share. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, I also want to add about the children's situation on at the Mae Sot or in any other area. As also the Dr. Nai mentioned that the children are also affected by the movement. The case study. I had a very close friend who left from the Myanmar last 2 years ago with the two children. They already arrested with their children for two times already. The children are the girl is 5 years old and the boy is 7 years old. So I always visit when I was in Mae Sot, I visit their house. Also, they invite for the son lunch or dinner with them. So they're afraid that their parents, they're afraid to going out. Whenever I arrive in Mae Sot, that I brought them in my office trust. So I visited around them. When they saw the police, so they are so afraid. And then they ask me, Uncle, the police there. Uncle, police there, something like that. So sometimes I also talking with the police. So I try then to be comfortable or something like that. It is that I mean that not only for this family. I think the many many people, the new arrival or that they are living in Mae Sot or in Thailand as undocumented workers. So your second question is also that I'm also proud to share with how we can deal with the Thai authority. Also that I can say, I already mentioned that when you are talking with the Thai authority, we also have to understand about the people-to-people engagement. It is a very, very important. As my experience, this is when I working in southern Thailand the first time, even though I try to set up for our migrants landing center, those villagers, Thai local villagers, they don't agree. Even that they try to block or they try to fight to our construction, Burmese construction worker who going to build for the migrants landing center. So at the time, also the Thai NGO called Foundation for Children. He said that the leader is one of the yellow shirt leader. Also he's also the well-known the Thai activist. So something like they also introduce with the local authority and local businessmen or local employers as well. So this is we just initiated for the people to people, and we try to raise awareness. This is also the very important. This is the main purpose or main reason we try to organize this kind of press conference or exhibition or something like that, because of the Thai public have to know about our situation. It is very important. So even that we are encouraging our Myanmar or Burmese media, they have something like Myanmar language version or English version, but I didn't see the many Myanmar the media they didn't use for the Thai language. It is a very important to provide it, provided our update our situation, why we are here, why we need support from the Thai public and Thai government. Yeah, and also we used to have the many different programs we call peace meetings between the Thailand and Myanmar. We also the very long story. Some the old generation, they also maybe they are not very happy with the Myanmar people. Or now that we can say that I work in Thailand for over 3 decades or getting better. We get the many times getting better. Young Thai generation, or they also try to understand our situation and they trying to support. We also had a good program for internship for the Thai university student. So that means that they come into internship or something like volunteer for our foundation up to the 1 month or 3 months. So they know exactly that we also arrange them to the home visits to how the migrants are living and how migrants are working in Thailand. Actually, that we are working for the 3 or 4D job, difficult, dirty, dangerous, or domestic work. They also have. Sometimes, that I do appreciate one activist from the southern Thailand. He's a Thai activist. He always publicly he say, we are eating for the seafood because of the migrant, something like that. We are, the good housing here because of the migrant. The construction of migrants. So that is also important. And at the same time, we also, they have to provide it the capacity to our migrant to understand about the Thai law, understand about the Thai language. This is a very important. That's why that we always mention that Thai language is the survival language for the migrants. It means that you can more easy to deal with the grassroots, the community or Thai authority when you are in dangerous. In southern Thailand, we also making we one project also they do appreciate by the Thai published and Thai government. It is environment project. We are trying to clean the community, cleaning up. We also clean the beach. That we also the waste management. We trying to work in the many different levels with the local authority. At one, I think that sometimes that we feel like we can survive. For example, some our volunteer in Mae Sot, we provide for the one that they are volunteer card signed by myself. But it is not the the not document. We just say it is a volunteer for our Joy House volunteer and also the provided by the FED and just it. But some the sample police when they saw that this card, okay, they can relieve. But it is also the depend on the depend on the individual, depend on the police officer. Yeah. Thank you. I think that your question is my answer, or it's okay, or please let me know. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for a fantastic panel and for all of the wonderful performances as well. I have 2 questions for Thet Swe Win.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Vanessa Johansson. I'm the Director of Local Insight Service, which is an NGO focused in Myanmar. Thet, I'm just wondering, in your time so far in Mae Sot, whether the situation for Burmese people there has changed much, like whether you're sort of seeing improvements or it's gotten worse in terms of particularly in terms of their security and their sense of security and the incidents that you see, the arrests and the extortion and all of that, and what might have influenced those changes over time? If maybe there hasn't been any change, but if there has been, what do you think has influenced that change? That's one question. And the second question is, what do you think that the UNHCR and IOM can do better in terms of supporting Burmese people in Mae Sot and in Thailand in general? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The situation after the coup is not getting better. I would say it's getting worse because like when I first arrived 2.5 years ago, like the town was empty. There was no, because it was COVID time, so the COVID restrictions make people difficult to travel, so not many people cross border to Mae Sot. So it was like mostly empty, but the refugees actually, like after the fighting in Ligiko, just the town crossed the Mae Sot. So like when the fighting happened over there, many thousands of people have fled to Mae Sot, and then they are desperately looking for a space to stay. Then everything got expensive, after that, or the house rented, everything. So this is the first challenge that we face after all of the flooding of people. And like the first time I got arrested by the police over there was 2022, around February. Then it was quite an expensive experience for me. After that, the second time I was also being arrested with some other friends as well. Like there are many, but that time were no raids. no, not that much, surprise check on the roads. But these days, we keep hearing more and more of the arrests and more conflict and more like crime cases as well, because people are very desperate, and like most of the people cannot get out of this town. They keep seeing the similar faces every day at the same place. So they started, like fighting each other. The clashes have started to happen, and it also makes more problems among people. And also, like our revolutionary side, they also, some of you might have heard about the explosions in Mae Sot. That thing's also like actually the revolutionary groups should not do that. Should not do any of the armed protections in Thailand sides, which is not only for them but also dangerous for the refugees, other fellow refugees. So this is something that most of the revolutionary groups are like they just don't care and do it. Like two cases happened. Like I think it was also viral on the media, especially in Thai media. Like the first case was the explosion, and second case was the drone protection site was seized by the Thai military. So these two cases happened. So these incidents makes people more difficult situation. So this is not getting better; it's getting worse. And your second question is about the UNHCR and IOM and then the protection, how to improve the protection mechanism. I don't know. I actually have a friend here. Maybe I haven't told Phil about it. Phil, maybe you remember about a case like 1.5 years ago that Paul Greening requested you to do about a case of a CDMer was being arrested in Mae Sot, and then he got he was like in the border, in the border, while he was waiting for his wife and 2-year-old kid to cross the border. So he is also a CDM, and his wife is also a CDM teacher. So like he was just went to the border to pick up his family. He got arrested by the Thai military, and then his wife and kid were detained 2 days in Mae Sot detention. After that, they were being deported, and that guy was been sentenced 37 days in the Mae Sot prison. After that, they about to deport him to Burma, but we tried to intervene it. So Paul Greening, my friend who's living in Mae Sot, and me, we tried to stop that deportation. And like Paul, he personally goes to, they knock the door of IOM and also the UNHCR to do something. No one helped. There was like no answer at all. And later on, he requested, at the last minute, he requested Phil about it, and then Phil also helped, something, with some of his connection. And luckily, I don't know whether it's luckily or unluckily, that guy wasn't being deported, but the Thai authorities sent him to the immigration detention here in Bangkok, and then that guy served 1.5 years in the immigration detention center. He just released 2 months ago, and I invited him here. That guy is sitting over there. So he has also been passed through a lot of traumas and hardship that while he was in the detention. So here's the example of how UNHCR and IOM work very well to protect the refugees over there. And how we can make it better, we have to have a constant engagement with them, and we have to point it out, and we have to tell them, like constructively, like I'm not criticizing them, but this is the reality, the frustration of people on the ground, that we feel helpless when we face these threats. We don't know who will help us. So we have to tell them this is the real situation, and we want the situation to be improved. And also, there are some Thai organizations that helping the Burmese refugees to prevent deportations. So like 3 days ago, we had while we were having a talk at the Fijian, so the one lady from the Thai organization was explaining about the prevention mechanisms, and the Thai organizations are really are dedicated to help us in order to prevent the deportation mostly. I think that is good, but we still have to strengthen the international protection mechanism for all of these refugees. Thank you.
Yeah. Another question right here. While he's coming to this mic, I would just say one thing about UNHCR, that it's very important to recognize that the Thai government doesn't permit UNHCR to do refugee status determination for Burmese of any sort.
Yes.
So while UNHCR has some issues and has some problems, it's very clear also that they've been put in a straitjacket by the Thai government. And it creates a situation where, it's very telling, the comment that was made earlier that the last thing you want to do in Mae Sot if you get stopped by the police is call UNHCR. Because then the police, instead of saying, okay, I'm just going to take a bribe and let you go, they put you through the formal process, which ends up immigration detention center, and you can spend months or years in there. And that, it's like the local officials are taking requests for protection and turning it on their head to try to penalize people so that they in fact never ask for protection. How screwed up is that? Pretty bad. Yes.
Thanks very much, Phil. Graham Johansson's my name. I'm an Australian visitor and basically fairly ignorant in comparison with everyone else here tonight, but would like to thank you all very much for your presentations and answering questions. My question relates to Joy House and learning. I'm aware that mobile phones serve a very important function among migrant communities and refugee communities worldwide, and I'm wondering whether Joy House may be able to expand its activities by interacting with children in its area by mobile phone.
I'm clearing about the question in Burmese. Yeah. Right now, and according to the community need, like in the beginning I explained, like we started with 11 classes and then now became 22 classes. Sometimes we cannot control the community need, and then we need to slow back a little, and then to arrange everything is going well, and then everything is organized well, and then we need a program like Joy House, not only in the Mae Sot area, and also we have a plan to open, we call Joy House 2 in Mae Hong Son, near the border of Karani and Mae Hong Son. So actually we need this kind of Joy House activity more in the future, but right now, even though Joy House in Mae Sot, we are facing challenges in so many ways, especially on the funding. So we are right now in the session 4, and then every session we support to our trainer, like we say honorarium gift, but now in session 4 we don't have any funding to support them. That's why we are here for the promote to not only for our right and our art for the advocacy to the international community, but also we want Joy House for the future more expand and like a sustainable project or community center for the Mae Sot area, because like I used to say, we cannot collect all the rubbish in the whole city, but we can collect on the rubbish in our own house or our near community. So Joy House is like that. We cannot support every refugee or ITV, but we are silently doing something that we cannot mentioned in here, but we are silently doing something like Joy House activity. We are doing it in a lot of places, but we need money for that. We already have a plan to start in December, and then we will be start more activity like Joy House in the future. But right now in Joy House, Mae Sot also don't need money for like a training material like this, macrame or handmade we need. And then so regarding the training materials or lack of the training resources, sometimes we've been, you know, a little bit slowly or make a little bit, you know, back, something like that. But we have planned to expand more activity like Joy House. Thank you. Yeah.
And that's your cue to make sure that you give money as you're going out the door. There's a jar on that table in the back. There's also some handicrafts and other things that can be purchased. So please do give generously. Please do take a look and buy some things and things like that. I think we've pretty much come to the end of this, but I'm going to give the final word to Jeannie Hallisey.
We just wanted to thank everybody for coming here tonight. A lot of friends and old friends and new friends, and we're really happy that Phil Robertson, who's so well known and beloved by a lot of the Burmese community, could be here. But you really have no idea, everyone sitting here, how much work it took for Thet Swe Win to be here tonight. You cannot imagine the amount of work to organize all these artists and these paintings and the violin ensemble and the dance troupe and the costumes and the makeup and the children and the transportation. And she has been working day and night and day. And even though I very much respect my brothers, colleagues, Htoo Chit and Thet Swe Win, I really wanted to acknowledge Mae Sot Win tonight and have all of you put your hands together for the amazing job she has done by building up this Joy House.
It's my honor.
And I want to call her husband. It's a family affair, like I told them. They are Swiss Family Robinson, but they don't know who the Swiss Family Robinson is. Everywhere Thet Swe goes, she brings her husband. He's also working for Joy House, but doesn't get any money. Her teenage daughter, Mercy, her teenage son, Judson, her sister, Elizabeth, all of them drove here from Mae Sot with no funding and came here to, they're the ones that hung this exhibit today while Thet Swe and Thet and Htoo Chit were in meetings. And I wanted to also acknowledge Guido, Mercy, Elizabeth. You are the Swiss Family Robinson, and to thank all of them for all the work they've been doing. Come on, they are shy. Her teenage daughter, Mercy, also speaks English very well, and she's interested for any scholarships. You should say something, Mercy. She speaks English.
Hi, everyone. It's such a privilege to be here with all of these amazing people. And I'm so proud of my mom today. And I'm so happy to be a part of this amazing things that we're all doing. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. All right. Well, with that, I want to thank everyone for coming. I will mention, however, that for people who want to hear more about refugee issues, there's going to be a panel on this Wednesday, the 8th of November, talking about the national screening mechanism, whether Thailand is really serious about taking over refugee status determination or not. We'll have representatives of the Thai government as well as NGOs to talk about that here starting at 7 p.m. So that's the 8th of November on Wednesday. Again, be generous, support Joy House, and thank you again to everyone who made this evening possible. And Dr. Nang, thank you very much for staying right to the end.